Hi everyone. Today I'm gonna talk about TRECIRAL. And to begin with, I have to start to talk about Capoeira. Capoeira I was practiced for many years, and at some point I was feeling frustrated with Capoeira because it was too aggressive, too competitive, and and I don't know, it doesn't fit what I was looking for. It might be aggressive and competitive that like maybe centuries ago, but not in our days. And I was looking for more flow in the game. Several different one. This was one major thing motivated me to create Triciral. But there is other elements too. Another thing, I went to do a MA master degree in body movement, and I study a lot about the body movement, and because of that, I started to explore a lot of the dance of the gods in the Afro-Brazilian religion, Candomblé, precisely. I started to start those movements, and I started to get ideas, and accommodate this in capoeira. And but I cannot call that capoeira if I start to add something totally different. And to be in a rough example, like to remove the berimbau from capoeira, the main instrument we use in capoeira, and put it, let's say, a guitar or a piano, you know. Some people might do that. That's okay, It depends what they want to do it, But the thing is, if you cannot call that capoeira, capoeira as we know in Brazil, and here goes a little message for those people sometimes thinking capoeira linked to Africa. Yeah, it is linked to Africa for sure. Capoeira, there is a lot to do with Africa, no? And the African developing the capoeira in Brazil, but you find games, dance, or fights, different type of fight in Africa, back in Africa, many centuries ago. Very similar to capoeira, but it's not capoeira. I always use this example of my kids. My kids, my wife is Brazilian. We live in Canada, but our culture, the way we live, is emerged in a Brazilian culture in Canada. My kids born in that environment. They speak the language, the Portuguese language. They get all the cultural influence from me and my wife, both of us Brazilian, influence the kids. But I can ask you, these kids, they are Brazilian or they're Canadians? No, they have a big chunk of the Brazilian culture, but they're not Brazilians. They born in Canada. They absorb all the culture, all the sense of the Canadian culture, and the roots of them is more Canadian than Brazilian. That's for sure. They they didn't live in the streets in Brazil. They never experienced like to be there for many years, like, and so it's different. It's not the same. It's not the same. So some people thinking like, oh, capoeira Africa, no, came from Africa. No, it's not like that, because if you see back in Africa, Mestre Pastinha, one of the masters like in capoeira, create, let's say, the style of capoeira Angola. He went in Africa, and he was like kind of frustrated about the idea of capoeira was not didn't exist there, you know, and people sometimes tend to think about capoeira we practice in Brazil is the same in Africa, or similar. Yeah, the roots is there for sure. You cannot say no to that, but it's not the same. It's different, and different environment, different people around, different structure, and the way to practice, or the purpose of to practice capoeira in Brazil was different than back in Africa, and in Africa didn't exist capoeira, and a lot of people. There's one few stories they say, different ways what this name come from. Some people, like, there's one researcher, he say the possibility came from Africa, but very empty in some sense because it doesn't have much resource to prove that. But in Brazil, the possibility to prove is much stronger, because all these masters, there are a lot of research around this. This in books and documents from the 1800s, 1700s, and show that word there and linked to what for the movements or the capoeira we have today uh, came from. No, so there's more linked to that than actually if you look capoeira from somebody coming could say, you can say like capoeira came from China or from Middle East or whatever, no. But it's more grounded there. The strong roots. I like in English we say that it's a strong roots. It's a Brazilian creation, no, and by Africans, no, or by natives. Who knows, no. Uh, in that sense, I don't know if this matters now to prove where this come from or not. No. Anyhow, and this was one of the perspectives of capoeira.